We're lucky enough to have three of the best the 500 Sprint Car Tour has ever seen on the couch here during Media Day. Tyler Roahrig to my left, to his left, Bobby Santos III, and, of course, the two-time series champ, Kody Swanson, on the couch as well, gentlemen. We do have one mic. We're going to pass it around, but thanks for coming out here today. Appreciate it. Kody, we'll start with you. Back with the 500 Sprint Car Tour this year. Another great schedule. We get to go to Jennerstown. I know you guys ran Silver Crown cars there, so a little bit of experience. But what'd you think when you took a look at the schedule this year?
Yeah, I mean, always excited to be able to run pavement sprint cars, throughout the Midwest, and appreciate what the 500 Tour has done since its inception to give us that chance. And so excited to go back to some familiar places, but Jennerstown too. It's been really great to have the tour spread its footprint and give us a chance to go to new venues.
And happy birthday, by the way.
Yeah.
That was yesterday.
Yeah, thanks, Rob.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Bobby, back with the series once again. And, when I think of you three guys, especially Bobby Santos and Kody Swanson, have been doing this for a long time. And when you guys show up, obviously you guys are the teams, the drivers that everyone else knows that they have to beat if they want to get to victory lane. Kind of the competition. Tell me about the competition that's changed, or has it changed? Maybe just gotten tougher from the start of this series till now. Obviously, there's a little bit of a void with non-wing sprint cars for a few years, and then 500 Sprint Car Tour started, and then all the big dogs showed up.
Yeah, I mean, I've always loved non-wing sprint cars back when USAC had non-wing sprint cars and then pavement sprint cars. And thanks to Jared and Anderson Speedway and everyone involved in 500 Tour, obviously the little 500 has kept it alive on life support, and then their tour really has brought it back to life. And along with that, the competition level, the equipment, it just got better and better. It's tough. I mean, racing Kody all these years has always been tough, and now that we have a tour, obviously, it brought along guys like Tyler to come and have a reason to have a sprint car and do it, and unfortunately come kick our butt the last couple of years.
Yeah, we'll get to the state of Michigan here in a minute, but Tyler, for you, your pathway to sprint cars may be a little bit different than these guys. I'd say relatively new to sprint cars in the last 10 years or so. But how did you make that decision? I think I want to go sprint car racing. You're kind of known prior to that, obviously as a champion, a little 500 winner, being a late model guy, and then all of a sudden you guys decided to go sprint car racing.
Yeah, so I've always had a love for sprint car racing. I did the quarter midget thing as a kid, and a lot of the people I raced with there went and did midgets or sprint cars. And my uncle had raced sprint cars and super modifieds a long time ago, so it's something I always wanted to do. And when Anderson started running more races each year, and I think around 2018 it was, and then the coming of the 500 Tour, just really made sense to really focus on non-wing pavement sprint car racing.
I mean, did you think when it started, like, okay, we're going to run this deal, we have a shot to win a championship? Because, in 2023, a couple of years ago, you guys were able to do that.
Yeah, no, not really. There's a lot of things I thought I'd never do in a sprint car that we ended up doing. But my plans were I'd just get this car and race it a few times a year and, not spend a ton of money or time on it. And that completely went away after, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But it's been a lot of fun.
Third in points last year. You missed Salem. I think Salem was the one that you missed.
Yeah.
Do you think you had a shot? Had you ran Salem, do you think it would have been a little bit tighter once you got to Raceway Park?
I don't know. I'm not very good at Salem, whereas, Kody and Dakota are. So I don't know. It's hard to tell, hard to speculate. I probably should have went, but I think I had another race somewhere else that I wanted to go to wrap up a different championship. So, that's just had to pick and choose, and unfortunately I couldn't be in two places at once.
And Bobby, you touched on, racing Kody and anyone who's been around, USAC midgets, sprint cars, Silver Crown cars for the past 10, 15 years. They see that Swanson, Santos, Swanson, up towards the front. Tell me about, I don't know, was it or is it a rivalry between you guys? I mean, for you had two of them for a while when his brother Tanner was around that you had to deal with. But was there always a rivalry between you guys, or was it just good, clean competition trying to beat that guy who's winning a lot?
Yeah, I mean, I would say for the most part, it's always been good, clean, hard competition racing. it's funny you say that because it makes me think of a handful of years ago at IRP, someone asked me about the rivalry, and I said, what kind of rivalry is it when the same person wins all the time? So I don't know. I mean, I really don't know if I consider a rivalry. I think Kody's a great racer, and obviously he's a guy that I want to beat when I go to the racetrack, and I know if I beat Kody, it's probably going to be a good day. And that's honestly the way I look at it.
And still doing a lot of racing. I mean, obviously, you guys are you see you guys a lot Silver Crown competition and non-wing sprint cars, wing sprint cars. So you're racing a lot throughout the year, and you've raced a lot with him and Tyler now too as well. Would you consider these guys like I know how these guys race. I know how I can race these guys. It's not something where I can't believe you did that.
No, absolutely. I mean, I know one of the survey questions earlier is who do you want to be side by side with, and these two guys here I would race side by side with all day long. Hopefully they feel the same way about me, but I have all the respect in the world for both these guys.
And Kody, for you, again, the connection with Bobby for a lot of years. Your brother Tanner Swanson, who raced and won a lot as well. Talk about racing with this guy over here. I mean, you just can't seem to shake each other.
Yeah, and I feel like the sentiment's been the same, right? I don't know if I think both of us probably don't focus on each other as much as just trying to win the race. But if you're going to win, you're going to have to beat Bobby, and he's going to be at the top. And you mentioned Tyler now in sprint cars and everything else too, right? That is certainly part of the conversation. But Bobby and I have been racing together a long time, whether it's started in midgets and me just following around in midgets. When I first got into it, he'd been winning already and led into sprint cars and Silver Crown. And so, I feel that same way, huge respect there between all of us that were racing really hard and occasionally you're both going for the last inch of space and trying to win, and that's part of it. But I feel like that respect is still there, knowing that everyone's trying to do it, trying to win a race as clean as we all can. And so definitely appreciate that. And like I said, that's transcended over however many years and however many different teams and different series. That respect is still there. And like I said, that competition level is up there. If we're racing one another, stakes are high. Usually we're running for the win or a podium spot. We're not usually both arguing over eighth, very often, which is something that I think is a really neat thing, for us to have that level of competition, among one another that way.
And then you sprinkle in, some of the competition that you guys have had to deal with for a lot of years and race with, Dakota Armstrong, obviously the reigning champion, Billy Weiss. And then you have all these kids coming up maybe through the ladder system, if you will, from the Kenyan cars up into this series like Jackson Masinko and some of the younger kids they're showing a lot of promise as of late. How about the competition, veterans aside, that you see out on the racetrack? I don't want to put you in a mentor situation, but, watching these young kids kind of find their way out on the racetrack.
Yeah, no, I'll go first here. I'm holding the mic, but I appreciate that and the sentiment for sure. That's really been neat about the tour, how much deeper the field has gotten, right? It's always been hard to win a race, but now it gets harder to run eighth sometimes because it gets deeper. And another one that mentioned, Dakota Armstrong, obviously defending champion. Kyle O'Gara is someone that wins races in the tour, and we've got a whole long list of others. But you mentioned Jackson Masinko, right? A former star through the Kenya Midget Series, and it's neat that series exists to grow racers into the 500 Tour. And Jackson's come along and been a great competitor and podium finisher with the tour too. So it's hard for me to believe I've been running pavement sprint cars for 20 years and to be on the veteran side of it now, but try to appreciate that opportunity to have more youth and people excited about the sport that I enjoy so much.
And for you, Bobby, I mean, again, same kind of question. When you came in the early 2000s, if you will, and would see you at Raceway Park, and you're racing against the Tracy Hines and the Dave Darland and the Jerry Coons and guys like that you probably looked up to, and now you're one of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely weird to be on this side of it. Again, like you said, all those names, Dave Steele, all those guys that I looked up to racing against. So, that's what's really neat about this tour. I felt like there was like a period of time there where it was just basically us veterans racing against each other. And the last handful of years, it's been great. Jake Trainer and a couple other guys, Armstrong, Masenko, these guys coming along and stepping in and winning some races. Kyle O'Gara. I think it's great for the sport. We need it. We need young guys to get into sprint cars. We need young guys to come along, and challenge the veterans and pass kind of the torch to the next group of young kids racers.
Tyler, who do you keep an eye on? Maybe watching practice times and things like that. Some of the young and up and coming drivers. I mean, we know that I kind of look at it in three levels. You have the veterans. I know you guys don't like to be called veterans. Been around for a long time, done it for a lot. Still very fast, very good race car drivers. And then you have the kind of the middle of the road, the Dakota Armstrongs, the Kyle O'Gara. I know we're probably aging people. And then you have the young drivers. Like we're going to see Colin Grissom run for Rookie of the Year coming up through the Kenyan cars as well. So who are some of the names maybe that jump out at you like, oh, that driver's going to be one to watch at some point?
Yeah, I think the obvious answer there is Jackson. He's been he ran 3 years now, or two or 3 years, and he's certainly has gotten a lot faster. I think he's gotten better, but I think too his team and his car has gotten a lot better, and really clean racer. You can trust racing around him, and we chat once in a while. He'll ask my opinion or advice on things, and it's nice to see just some ambition and some new life coming in. That's you can tell he wants to win.
Let's turn to the Little 500. Big race happens in May. I think you guys have been there before. You've all three won it. You said you didn't know if you'd ever race a sprint car or much less win a championship. Talk about going to victory lane in that race.
Yeah, never ever forecasted that in my entire life. But that was big. That was just a culmination of a lot of work. It was tough. Starting out, in sprint car racing against these two. These were, when I got my car, these were the guys that, I really looked up to and still do have great admiration for them. So. They set the bar and gave me something to chase and whatnot, and I don't know, it's fun. I've never thought I'd ever win a Little 500 or certainly not at IRP, but I don't.
That first Silver Crown win. I mean, we could probably talk for an hour on the big races that you guys have all won in the championships. All the big races that the open wheel sprint car people may not know exist in the late model world that you've won before. But, Bobby, a winner at Little 5 as well, wheel and modified champ, has won Silver Crown races. I mean, you list the things that you guys have done. What did the Little 500 win mean for you going on 6 years ago now?
Yeah, long time ago. Little 500's a race I circle every year. The only regret is that I didn't do it sooner. Night before the 500 was awesome back in the day, and I felt like I was one of the people that held on to it and did it longer than I should have. And once I ran my first Little 5, I'm like, what have I been missing out on? It's just awesome. Every aspect of the race, the preparation that goes into that race for me personally, just the amount of effort, just getting ready for the pit stops and all the effort, top to bottom. It's really a team race. And just appreciate all my guys that come out and help me for that race and make such a difference. I feel like in the past I've had the speed to win the race, and we finally got a win, which was awesome. And then the last handful of years we haven't been that great, but we race okay. So looking forward to it this year. Just got to do a better job, with a little bit more speed out of the car and no mistakes. But it's it's a bucket list race for me. It's one I circle every year that can make or break a season.
How hectic is it getting ready for Little 500, Kody? I know. Obviously, when you guys strap your helmets on, it's all business, but that's a race where, like Bobby mentioned, one little thing, happens and then, 500 laps down the drain. So how hectic is it as a driver? How nerve-wracking is it? Is it annoying? Do you just want it to be done, as opposed to any other 30-lap race, 50-lap race, you look up and you're like, heck, man, we got 400 to go and I still have to do 2 pit stops.
Yeah, I mean it is unlike any other race we do all year. So I'll follow the same sentence. It's one that you circle on the calendar that you build your spring around or your year towards, all culminating with the chance to try to win that race. And the race itself has so many hurdles to it. Not only survive in the beginning, but just trying to make it to the first pit stop, and then how the race changes in each stage makes it so much fun to compete in. The preparation of it is really a challenge and is different. These two guys oversee so much of their own program, and I feel like I've driven for a few different teams over time and try to meld into what they're doing, but be helpful. But at the same time, right, you're thrashing on race day to give yourself and your whole team the best chance you can to win. And so I know there's been a few of those that it was nice to get the race started so you could take a breath at the beginning, and then you still have 500 laps to go. But that's what makes it so special. If it all works out, you do have a chance to win one, just because it's hard to get to the end, and then it's hard to be in the right spot to do it. And Bobby got a chuckle about it. It's been a long time since he won one, but he's won one more recently than me. So I'm even another year out. But
no, there's no rivalry there at all, Tyler.
No, it was just
zero.
joke on being old here. That's been a while. I'm thankful to have won it a few times, but it'd be nice to win it again, or a little more recently now. But all the effort that goes into it gives you so much appreciation for the team you run for the chance to do it, and hopefully it makes it really special if you get a chance to celebrate together that night.
What's more hold your breath kind of moment, the 4 laps to qualify for it, or going into turn 1 on lap 1 of the little 500?
It used to be qualifying, but it's been more excitement than we like the last couple of years on the first lap. So hope it'll be a little smoother. I know I remember my first little 500, and I'll follow up that I was also on the night before the 500 and running the midgets, and so it was a long time before I came to run little 500, and sure appreciate that. But I remember Kenny, the chief steward, really trying to hammer into us in those drivers' meetings that it's the little 499. The first lap was his, and all of us stay in, do our jobs, take care of each other, survive, and then you have 499 laps to race. And there's so much element of just trying to survive that, and what you get caught up in or don't, that just part of what makes Little 500 what it is.
And Bobby, we'll kind of put a bow on the Little 5 here, but pit stops in a sprint car that doesn't have a starter. So you got to have the push trucks come over there, and then your dad's jumping up and down, everybody's screaming and yelling to go through the chaos of what it's like to have to pit not only once but twice in 500 laps there at Anderson.
Yeah, I mean, it is chaos. I feel like there's a lot that you can do from the team's perspective to prepare and make things better for yourself, having good pit stops, doing a good job. But then there is an element that's out of your factor when you get the push trucks and all that. That's chaos. But again, that's the beauty of that race, all the different factors in that race, start to finish. And there's so many people involved, and I think that's why it feels good when you can win that race. But I love the pit stop side of things. I love preparing for that side of it, being involved in that side of it. It's the strategy. I enjoy kind of old-fashioned racing where you strategize, taking care of your equipment and that kind of racing. I wish we had more racing like that.
And Tyler, for you, coming out of late models, I'm sure maybe you had to pit stops once or twice in a late model, and then you get the little 5, and you say, okay, I got this, and they go, well, kind of not, because it's quite a bit different, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it is. It's way different. For one, trying to make a pit stop with a car that doesn't have a clutch, and it's in a figure 8 too. It's tough, and the push trucks are pushing you out. I remember one year specifically, me and Kody, I feel like we almost crashed when 2 trucks were pushing us around the X at the same time. And but yeah, I mean, just it's something everyone has to see, and pit stop part is very nerve-wracking, but it's really fun, just the team aspect of it, and the camaraderie between I see it with every team, not just my team, but the camaraderie among the teams is really something cool.
So 500 Sprint Car Tour going to kick off with the historic Glen Eibel Classic coming up on April 18th, I believe. Are we ready for round 1 of the year?
Pretty close, I think so. That's always a good tune-up race for the little 500. It's obviously the weather will be a little bit different, and the 500, the track changes with, just with all the cars and all the rubber there. But just a good tune-up race to kind of see where you're at, make sure the cars are mechanically sound, and just hopefully can get some good notes from that and take it to the 500 and improve on it some more.
Bobby, we ready to go? Are we 98? Are we 22? Or
Back
what do we
to 20.
bring? Are we TBD? Do we know?
Yeah, we've had some confusion on the number situation the last couple of years, but I think we finally got to 98. It's going to be on the Silver Crown car, and all the sprint cars are going to be 22.
I'll put that on my notes.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it'll be a scratch. Oh, nope,
Yeah.
you switched it again.
No, we were confused for a minute there, but I think we got it under control. But no, we're working hard in the shop trying to get everything together for the season. The Glen Nibel will be a good test for us to see if we think we've made progress, but we haven't been to Anderson since we feel like we've made progress. So looking forward to that, and hopefully we can just qualify within 9 spots of these two guys, and I'd be pretty happy.
Yeah, a couple rows the way it shakes out, 11 rows of 3. How about you, Kody? You jumped in that 33 car, I guess, a year and a half ago now, kind of a spur of the moment kind of thing, and had a pretty good year. Were you guys satisfied with how 2025 yet and went, and how are we looking for this year?
Yeah, I mean, really appreciate the chance to run for Nick Bohannon, right? That came together spur of the moment. That at that point the Doran Banks racing team wasn't going to be able to run the whole tour, and I was kind of late in the going, finding that out for sure, and that Nick had a car going together. We happened to call him on the way to this media day to talk to him about the event at Salem Speedway he was involved with then, and that kind of launched into a chance to start a sprint car team with him, and it did feel good to finally win him a race this past year at Winchester was really special. Would like to do a better job for him, but we'll keep working on that and appreciate the chance to do it and try that this year, and then for the little 500 we'll return to driving for Kevin Doran and a Dan Banks engine and my friend Ken putting all the pieces together to make it happen and give us a chance to run little 500. So kind of a work in progress still, trying to sort things out for the year, but really appreciative to have the opportunities I do to race with the people I do and see how it all works out.
All right, if you guys don't mind, I'd like to do a quick lightning round questions. Bobby, you're going to hold the mic. You're going to have to act as the host and kind of just go between the drivers. We'll start with Tyler here. They're seemingly simple questions, so it shouldn't be a problem at all for you here today to wrap up our media day interview here. But Tyler Roahrig, favorite 500 Sprint Car Tour track?
Indianapolis Raceway Park.
Bobby?
IRP.
I'll go with Winchester for now.
All right. Hardest track to be fast at? We'll start with Tyler.
Winchester.
IRP.
Berlin.
Oh, yeah. Throwing a curveball out there. This question this question for Bobby and Kody only. Is it possible to beat Tyler Roahrig in the state of Michigan?
Yeah, it's going to happen this year.
I hope so.
I guess I should ask, is it probable to beat him? Because to this point, he's pretty much swept them all up there. Are we fan of big tracks or small tracks?
Round tracks.
Round tracks. He likes the oval ones. Yeah. Turn left.
Bigger the better.
Bigger the better.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I kind of figured you guys would all go that route. Most memorable win, Tyler, other than the little 500 in sprint cars.
My first win at IRP.
Bobby, for you.
Sprint cars or open wheel cars?
Sprint cars.
Sprint cars.
I had the list of all your midget Copper Classic win, night before. Who's your 100? Little 5.
I can't even think of a good sprint car win other than the little 500. I was going to say my first win at IRP too, but Tyler already stole that. My first one at IRP was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
It ended backwards. So
Yeah, that's good.
that was a long time ago.
There you go. Kody, for
maybe,
you?
Maybe for me might have been Orlando Speed World. Talk about a long time ago. That
Yes.
was a big one. Get my career going.
I just talked to Steve Lewis last week. Pretty good stuff. And a bonus round, which I'm sure no one wants to answer this question because you guys are all nice guys, but I'm going to toss it out there anyways. If you were stuck on a deserted island, Tyler Roahrig, and you had to pick one of these two guys that you did not want on the island with you, who would it be?
That I did not want. I might have to go with Kody.
Why you don't feel he'd help like be able to find food, or I mean, what?
I kind of have the same. Can I go on that?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go with not Kody either, because I feel like Tyler and I would have some drinks and have a good time on the island.
That's exactly what I was thinking of too. The exact reason.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, you got to pick one. I mean, I guess you could pick a both.
It sounds like it's you and me on the island, Rob, because you don't want to be on an island when someone doesn't want you. It's all right.
There you go. There you go.
No,
Tom Hanks. There
all
you
good.
go.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Good luck with the 500 Sprint Car Tour and all your endeavors this year, especially Little 500. And I appreciate you stopping by today here on Media Day. Tyler Roahrig, Bobby Santos III, Kody Swanson. Appreciate your time.